to the Motocross Supercross podcast.
What is up, everybody? We are back. Motocross Supercross podcast going into Muddy Creek, Tennessee. Muddy Creek is the track, but it is in Tennessee. We're going to be making some predictions today of what is going down. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
What's going on, my friend? How you doing?
Doing good. It's a heater today. It's definitely hot down here in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
It is brutal. So I kind of think that whoever's training in Florida, they got an advantage because it's nasty, bro. Just nasty. Yeah. The humid, the heat, the sun. It's deadly, bro. It is deadly.
Well, that's what we have. Some of the biggest private tracks and, the majority of the riders are located over here. So that's why, man, because we have this beautiful weather to give us opportunity to ride it all year round, pretty much.
Speaking of the weather, we should talk a little bit about the weather in Blountville.
Probably going to be foggy.
It's going to be foggy, maybe a little hazy, little
dense.
Might also be a little rainy, though, too.
Yeah?
Because, last time we checked it said only a 30% chance of rain. But now it's saying scattered thunderstorms.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah, 60% chance. So scattered showers and thunderstorms, high near 80. So the high went from like 85.
Wink, wink.
I think is what it was.
Okay.
So many references in this track. But high near 80, chance of rain 60%. Yeah, same thing throughout the night. Thunderstorms during the evening, partly cloudy, blah, 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 blah. So this could be very interesting.
Could this be our first muddy race?
Could be our first muddy race at Muddy Creek. It's only appropriate that happens like that.
I think so. Yeah.
So speaking of Muddy Creek, that's pretty much all we're talking about anyways, but there is some movement. There's some stuff happening. Some people in, some people out, some people making their return. Mm-hmm. And one guy riding a 125 two-stroke.
That's right.
Ryan Sipes.
I know, man. That's I want to say that's one of the biggest stories for the weekend. It's unusual to see someone riding a two-stroke, especially a 125 in the 250 class. So, but yeah, Ryan Sipes is going to do it, and he said he's going to break the cables.
Yeah, he does these kind of races where he just shows up and he'll do like one, maybe a couple races here. He's done it at High Point and stuff where he'll just show up and just dominate and see you later. But yeah, it looks like he's just going to be out there having fun. I don't know how competitive he can be on a 125 because I thought they could run the 252 strokes with the 250s. So that would definitely be a smarter move, it seems like. But I don't know.
I guess he's bought a 125, like last year or something like that. And he was just planning on doing like the 125 All-Star races, but I guess the way his schedule is made up, I don't know what else he's doing. It worked out like this, so he's gonna just go out there with the 125 in the 250 class and just have some fun. He says he's definitely not trying to get smoked, but even though he might be, as he says. This is not me saying all this. But yeah, he said he's gonna break the throttle cables, trying not to get smoked.
He's a champion GNCC racer. If it does rain and stuff, you never know. He could finish very well considering his bike makes it through. I mean, we can pretty much expect the Geico Honda bikes not to make it, but I figure there's a couple guys out there.
I'm sure they put a couple more rounds of tape on all those, connections and stuff so they don't get wet or disconnected or anything like that. So
yeah, you have to figure they had a pretty busy week
for sure.
making so many changes, double check, triple check. I guess you could say embarrassing for them to have that kind of finish to that week. So we got to look forward to them stepping it up.
It wasn't just one bike, it was 3 of them. So
yep.
That's bad.
What did we see? McAdoo in the first one, and then Martin and Sexton in the second one.
Yep.
Motos, that is. So, yeah, you you never know. Ryan Sipes. Can the 125 make it a whole mud race?
Maybe.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure we'll find out. Would you think he'll make the time still? You think he
qualify for the race and stuff? Yeah, I think so. He's super fast.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that. It's just, like the whole fact that he's in a 125, which is probably all bored out to like a 144 or whatever they could go up to.
He was probably like on the fence, and he's like, "Oh, it's gonna rain. Yeah, I'll go." That's a sign.
Definitely excited to see this though. To just hear a 125 out there with all these 4 strokes, and hopefully he gets a really good result, and maybe it will encourage him to do more races for sure.
Yeah, and let's talk about some other people that are back. Colton Nichols will also be back.
Yep.
We saw him. He had a bunch of bad luck. Like he signed rides, and then he was hurt. I think he might have even got hurt. I think he got hurt twice the Supercross season, because I think he was hurt going into it, and then he came back and then got hurt again. And I think they were both practice crashes, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, it'll be nice to have him back. I saw he posted he's got that new truck with his little custom graphics on the side. It looks pretty dope. It's real professional, I guess you could say.
Yeah. I'm excited to see this. He's making his debut on the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Series or Championship at Muddy Creek. He was out for the first 4 rounds, but he's ready. He's ready to come back. He hasn't raced since March.
And he had some pretty good results too. Yeah. Whenever he was doing those, like the few rounds that he actually ran.
Yeah, he was sitting 5th in the points whenever he got hurt. So he raced last year. He ended up getting 7th. So he raced the whole series last year. He got 7th. So I'm excited to see what he's got to do, what he's got to bring to the table for sure. Another rider that's going to make their debut today or this weekend, Jimmy Dakotas, Lopez's teammate. He's expected to make the season debut after missing the first 4 rounds while he was recovering from a back injury. So I guess there will be Suzuki still out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say JGR. They got a rider just in time.
Yep.
We were worried they weren't gonna have any 250 guys, and now they got a 250 guy.
Funny how that works.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Jimmy Dakotas. I remember seeing him ride at your track whenever that was happening, but I don't know. I just don't trust those Suzuki 250s right now. I'm just not feeling it.
Well, we'll see what he can do, and maybe he can break a top 10, and maybe it was just...
Change our minds?
Yeah, he'll change our mind, and it was just like a Enzo Lopez and Justin Hill thing.
And moving on, Kyle Chisholm, we were trying to stay updated on what's happening with him. We saw him have that bad crash where he was knocked out. That was in Thunder Valley, and then he came back to race at High Point, only ran a couple laps in practice, apparently tweaked his knee. So we were all trying to stay updated on what's happening with that, because the last thing he said on Twitter was, this is on June 19th, MRI on my knee tomorrow, should know more after that, and I'll update you guys once I know what's going on. Still sore, feeling a little bit better, but we'll see what the images show. All right, and then since that, he's only had 3 posts where he retweeted MXers for Jesus of like Bible verses. So I don't think that's a good sign.
So still no answer on that knee though?
No answer on the knee. He said, I'll let you guys know tomorrow. And then he posts 3 things about Bible verses. I was like, ugh, he's praying. He's definitely praying. So that to me, that just seems like not too well for him.
Well,
but I guess
I have the entry list, and right here it says Kyle Chisholm. He's out for Muddy Creek. So Chisholm hurt his knee at High Point, like you just said, and he will miss Muddy Creek. At time of posting, the result of an MRI were still unclear, and Chisholm is awaiting a second opinion.
And who else is out? You know who else is out?
Are you asking me, or you want to tell me?
It's rhetorical, but I was just going to say Garrett Marchbanks. I know you know.
Well, I don't know if it was like a trick question or like you're just like, you had something that I didn't know. But yeah, Marchbanks will be out as well for Muddy Creek. We saw he got hurt. He announced yesterday that he will miss the Tennessee National this Saturday due to the knee injury that he sustained in the crash in the first moto at High Point as well.
Which I believe was just a strained MCL. I don't think he tore anything. I think he just kind of strained it. So
yeah, he strained his MCL in his left knee, and he's doing everything that he can to be back 100% for Southwick. So maybe he's sitting this one out, which is unfortunate. He was doing getting good results, so kind of sucks. But I guess better safe than sorry with this kind of stuff.
Yeah, Southwick is next week, so if he can come back by then, that's really good, and he could definitely salvage, his season. But if he has to miss another race or another 2 races, things could get a little dicey. So hopefully he gets all healed up soon. That's good that it's only a strain, not a season ender, hopefully.
Well, he is on that Monster Energy Kawasaki team, so it might be a rib or on a collarbone or something.
And there is one more rider who will be in this week, and that is Arena Cross champion Jacob Hayes. He'll be racing the 450 class.
That's right. He's making a debut, I guess. He's looking for some sponsors, maybe a factory ride for 2019 season. Says he hasn't raced pro motocross in over 5 years, so he's super excited and super nervous to be back at Muddy Creek Raceway this weekend. See what he can do.
Yeah, definitely. You have to think like Arena Cross and then Pro Motocross is Arena Cross and Supercross are kind of similar, but it just seems like Arena Cross is on one end of the spectrum and then Pro Motocross is on the other, because you go from really tight, big jumpy to short laps, short races to massive, wide, rutted, rough, wide open. So, but if you can ride, you can ride. So you have to assume that he would do decent.
That's how we all start. We start racing motocross. So I'm sure he will do fine. He says he's been riding the last month or so. He's been putting motos out there and just getting prepared for this moment. So I'm excited to see what he's got to show. Especially with the whole Arena Cross thing, shutting down shop and not having a series next year, not really knowing where you're going to go or what you're going to do next year. It makes it very interesting because we go back to what we were talking about in the last podcast. The 450 class is going to be super stacked, and then this 250 classes are going to be stacked as well, because all these guys, you gotta know they're coming to Supercross. So
yeah, exactly. And for some reason, I was thinking he already had a ride for next year.
Well, apparently not.
For Supercross. Yeah, so I guess we'll have to stay tuned. But that could be definitely a value fantasy pick there if he can put down some good lap times.
Yeah, good point.
And see what happens. So another thing that we should talk about is James Stewart. A rare James Stewart post. Well, actually, not technically from him, but it is from 7MX and a picture of James Stewart's kid.
I know, man. That thing is so freaking cute. The bike, the kid's got so much style.
He's got his little afro. He's on the compound dirt bike track. He's got his little custom, whatever it is, scooter, bicycle thing. Dude, this kid's going to be a ripper.
Yeah, it's called Racecraft, I think. And, he's got they have their own little model. And, they got the blue or the black with the teal colors that Malcolm usually rides with. And that thing is sick. It looks really cool.
It's weird looking though. It's got a bicycle seat, but I don't know. It just that part looks weird. The bicycle seat.
Yeah, it's like a straighter, but with a motor in it, so you can impulse yourself or push yourself around. So you get a little bit more speed. You can get around that compound a lot faster than just pulling yourself.
Yeah, it's just pretty crazy. We haven't heard from James Stewart in a long, long time. The last thing he posted on his Instagram was about Nikki Hayden in May of 2017, so over a year ago. And then we saw, and this is kind of the first time we're seeing his kid too. He posted a couple things when his kid was a baby in 2016 of November. So
yeah, when I was in New York, not last year, but the year before, I caught up with Malcolm, and I asked him about James, what he was thinking or what he was doing and stuff. And all he said was he's just been taking care of his kid, man. He's just been a dad.
Yeah.
I was like, that's awesome. That's really cool. So
Really cool, but I want to see James Stewart on the track, but it just doesn't look like it, man. I don't think we ever see him line up again.
he's got something in the works for sure. I don't know if he's gonna come back racing professionally, but he's definitely planning something. So let's just wait.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. That makes you feel better. I don't think he'll race again, but I do want to see him do something. He's got to be a part of the sport. He helped shape it, you could say.
Yeah, exactly. James Stewart is the guy that he revolutionized the sport. He came up with the Bubba Scrub, and from that, it's what we have today.
Well, and he's the Jackie Robinson of motocross.
Wow. Okay, there you go.
So he's definitely he's a Hall of Famer for sure.
Hall of Fame of motocross.
That's right, Motocross Hall of Fame. Why don't we just get into making our own picks and predictions for what goes down in Muddy Creek?
Okay.
So before we start picking riders, you got any predictions on the weather? You think we see a huge mud fest? You think it holds off? What's your gut telling you?
Well, going with what you just we just talked about, and if it does rain, 60% chance is a lot of percentage for rain. So I think it's definitely going to rain, and we might have, I don't know if a mud fest because it's scatter storms, but if it's anything like Florida, we're definitely going to see some rain.
We saw the press day people riding for press day. The track just looks super, super perfect. Blue skies, you got some white clouds. It was just picture perfect day. So you have to think, can that kind of condition be seen tomorrow, or is it just totally going to change and just screw everything up? I'm starting to think maybe a half and half, to where it starts off super nice and then boom, it changes.
Yes, I love that.
But the one thing that kind of concerns me though is the thunderstorms, because if there is some crazy lightning or something, then that would really suck if they had to cancel the race or delay it or anything like that. So that could be my crazy prediction right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna say there's a crazy lightning effects. There's either a delay or they have to red flag a race or something. That's crazy. That's bold. So if that happens, you heard it here first.
Yeah, that's some ballsy stuff right there. But that's the sport that we love, and I can't wait.
Yeah, I think that's just me getting a little too cocky with my picks. And we've just been killing it recently. I just almost feel like I have to step it up a notch and just tell everyone exactly what's going to happen.
Well, if you get it right, then
then I'm a hero.
Yeah, we're awesome.
Anyways, let's jump into some 250 picks. We saw Plessinger dominate it at High Point, but also due to Jeremy Martin's bike troubles. And whenever that happened, Jeremy Martin was pulling away and he was really dominating everyone. So it was really almost like a luck win for Plessinger. But Plessinger also, he's from the area, Ohio. He's got lots of experience also doing the GNCC and woods racing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to figure a little bit of mud helps him. We saw him in Seattle dominate everyone in the mud. So I feel like it's almost hard to pick against Plessinger, knowing there's a good chance of rain, and he's also obviously been riding really good. So it's I would almost pick him if it was I would pick him if it was a dry track, but since we're adding in the rain, I gotta go with Aaron Plessinger, even though Jeremy Martin will have a lot of revenge in his mind, and he's just so frustrated from last week when he was dominating. So you have to figure he comes out strong. So I'll put him in second, and then for third, we got the rookie, Justin Cooper. Actually, I'm going to go with a hometown boy, and that's Jordan Smith.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's some solid picks, though. I have to agree with you with the whole Plessinger theory. He's, like you said, he dominated in Seattle last year in the Supercross season with the Muddy race.
This year.
Well, that last season, or this season, yeah. And also, his size is definitely going to be a big factor here, especially if it rains, to control that bike. And that's
but even if it doesn't, that's what I'm saying. Even if it doesn't rain, he could still win, just like last week.
Yeah, he's been riding pretty good. It's the luck's definitely in the Yamaha side, and I feel like a little bit of redemption for the Honda kids or Jeremy Martin. It's coming. But yeah, with this weather conditions, I have to agree with you with Plessinger winning. As much as I hate that, because I really like Jeremy Martin. I like his heart, his spirit, and his competitive sides. He's a great rider, I think, and he's been riding with Eli. He's been training. He really wants his championship before he moves up, and I can't go against Plessinger, especially with this kind of track and this weather conditions are coming.
I think Justin Cooper, though, the new Alessi, whole shots in his future in Muddy Creek. I'd say there's about a 60% chance, just like the rain.
Yeah, that's gonna be my third place. I'm gonna put him in third place. I think he's good. He's been getting good starts,
getting better every week too.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. He's getting better every week, and he's gonna be my third place. So I'm gonna put Jeremy Martin in second and Plessinger in first.
So none of us pick Austin Faulkner for a podium position this week. Last week he got second. He went fourth in the first moto, second in the second moto for second overall with Martin's problems. Yeah, interesting. That's someone definitely. I'm looking at the results. He went 12th, 10th, 4th, and 2nd. So he is actually, he's actually trending on the upside. So will I regret picking Austin Faulkner? Maybe.
Or not picking him.
Oh, yeah. Will I regret? Yeah, exactly. Will I regret not picking him? Maybe. But I'm going to stick with my picks. Plessinger, Martin, and Jordan Smith.
Yeah.
And you have Plessinger,
Jeremy Martin,
Cooper. And Justin Cooper for third. Mm-hmm. So both of us are picking Plessinger and Martin to go 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we do that, whenever we both agree on picks like that, it usually turns out well. I'm starting to get really nervous now. We're really pumping this up. A lot of pressure on us.
I have to see what Faulkner has this weekend. After this weekend, if or when he gets in the podium, I'll definitely start considering making put him up there. And like I said, I believe he has the speed. He just doesn't have the consistency.
Yep, he's sitting 5th in the points right now, so it still is not over for him.
No, not at all. It's not over for anyone.
All right, so now moving on to the 450s. This is where we saw some exciting action, start to finish in that second moto between Eli Tomac, Marvin Musquin. We also saw Barcia going 3 and 5 for the third overall. Justin Hill had a great showing. Ken Roxon was up there. This race will tell us a lot about who's here to play, who's here to stay, and who's going away. Boom. I still feel like Eli Tomac is just going to dominate everyone, though Marvin, we've seen him do really good in the mud as well. Justin Hill also. This is going to be a good race. I'm really looking forward to this. So looking back at that Seattle race, that was a mud fest. Eli Tomac did win that race. Marvin Musquin got third. So I do feel I am going to stick with Eli winning. I do like Marvin to get second because I think those two will battle it out this whole year. At least that's what I'm hoping for. And for third place, this is where things get a little tricky because there's so many different riders I could put up there. I like Barcia. I feel like Roxon's riding a lot better. I got to pick Justin Hill. I feel like he gets on the podium.
This weekend? Okay.
I feel like this is the weekend where we see Justin Hill on the podium, which would be very impressive and something that I think is definitely due to happen just for his speed. He's former champion. He's finally on the 450. He rides that thing like a freaking maniac. So kind of some safe picks, but that's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go Eli Tomac, Marvin Musquin, Justin Hill. What do you think of that?
Yeah, so those are some good picks. I like them. You can't go wrong picking Eli. But I'm gonna bet against him this weekend.
Betting against Eli. I'm telling you, man, that's not gonna end well for you.
It's not, and I'm probably gonna regret it. Kind of like the whole Forkner thing with you, but I feel like this track is kind of like last weekend. You know, a lot of just ruts and a lot of different lines and a lot of outside lines. And as we saw, Muskin looked really good. He actually looked faster than Eli. He made a clean pass on him. So I'm gonna put my money on Marvin Muskin this weekend. Yeah, I think he's gonna do good. He, especially with the whole rain situation, and I understand that Eli won Seattle, but it's a difference. I don't know. I have that feeling, and I'm gonna have Tomac for second. In third place, I'm gonna go with Barsha on this one.
All right, yeah, very cool. Yeah, last week in High Point, we saw Marvin straight up pass Eli in the first moto. And then that second moto, he finished right on him. It was a really good battle between them. So, one little mistake by Eli, which we've definitely seen before. It does look like Marvin has things turned around. So one little thing, and Marvin wins that race.
Well, we go back what we were talking about at the beginning of the show. He's back in Florida training, so this weather is definitely helping him out compared to elevation that Eli Tomac's been practicing on. So, yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, last year Eli won the race. Marvin had a bunch of problems. Eli went 2-1. Anderson won the first moto last year. And then Marvin went 7 and 34 for 14th overall.
Ooh.
So Marvin did. So you would think he's got something to prove at this track. So hopefully it's not one of those tracks that he just hates and he just doesn't do well at. But it looks like he could definitely prove. He definitely has something to prove at this track. That is for sure.
We saw Eli do it with his track. He overcame the whole not winning at Colorado thing. So maybe Muskin will turn things around and get a win this week and break the streak.
Yeah, break the streak. Well, he did break the streak, the moto streak. So now he's got to break the overall winning streak.
Exactly.
And you know what? I think you're onto something here. The more that I kind of think about it, I think you might be onto something here. Either way, it's going to make for a great battle between those two.
Definitely. Somebody else that I wanted to mention that we should take a look at or keep an eye out for is Benny Bloss. I think Benny Bloss is going to do something this weekend. He's been getting faster and faster, and if it rains, man, same thing with Plessinger. I think his size is going to be beneficial. So watch out for him.
He had some bad luck when he crashed on the start after running over Ken Roxon.
Yeah, when he stampeded him.
Yeah, he stampeded him. Yep. All right, well, we told you all who we think is going to win. Why don't you tell us who you think is going to win? Let us know. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, email us, message us, whatever you want to do, let us know, but put your picks out there. Yeah. So whenever you're right, we can fact check you so you're not fake news. But is there anything else we should add to this one?
No, just make sure you guys give us a follow at the MXSX podcast on everything, and we'll see you guys for the recap.
That's right. Have a good week. Peace.